Welcome to Living in El Paso, Texas. My name is Alejandro Sosa.
My name is John Pena, and in this video we are talking about the pros and cons of living in El Paso, Texas. This is going to be the rapid fire edition. If you want a more thorough video, check out the one that we did last year. Super still relevant, I think. So, yeah. Pros, El Paso's got a lot of great things going on for it, okay? Cost of living, 12% lower than the national average. Crime rate, 14% lower than the national average. Almost 300 days of sun a year, which is awesome. But it's also got some drawbacks, right? There's some heat issues, there's some geographic isolation, property taxes suck here, salaries, entertainment. And so, like I said, we're gonna give you the rapid fire. We're gonna give you 5 pros, 5 cons of living in El Paso, Texas.
So first pro is going to be affordability. Now, El Paso is one of the most affordable large cities in America. The cost of living is 12% below the national average, but the biggest savings come with housing, right? Now, Texas has no income tax. So a household in El Paso earning $75,000 has the same purchasing power as somebody in Denver with $90,000. Now, if you compare that to like San Diego, it's about $105,000. Now, the pro number 2 is going to be the safety. El Paso is consistently one of the safest large cities in the US. Even though it's a border town, some people think that might be an issue, but it's one of the safest, largest cities in America over the past 2 decades. Crime rates run 14% below the national average, which is pretty good. Now, pro number 3 is going to be the weather. One of my favorite things about here in El Paso. 297 days of sunshine throughout El Paso. Doesn't really rain as much, 8.8 inches of rain a year. And the data says roughly 3 inches of snow, but it doesn't really snow at all. And if it does, in the mountain, it's gonna melt, within a couple hours. Now, the pro number 4 is going to be pretty much the economy. The strong recession-resistant economy, pretty much anchored by Fort Bliss. Fort Bliss supports approximately 127,000 jobs, and they contribute $27.9 billion annually to the Texas economy, which is massive. Now, pro number 5 is probably one of my, if not my favorite things, it's just the community. Here in El Paso, we have a tight-knit community with very rich bicultural identity. So pretty much here in El Paso, we have over 80% of Hispanics. It's pretty much a blend of American and Mexican culture. It's great. It creates a really cool food scene, arts community, and the city is very family oriented, which I really, really love.
Yeah, for sure. And let me just double down on some of those pros real quick. Affordability, no doubt. Like, I've lived in Chicago, Kansas City, Houston, and those places were not affordable. El Paso, it definitely is affordable. Safety, no doubt. And again, I know that the media sometimes portrays El Paso as like a dangerous place. It's not. It's one of the safest cities in the entire country. The amount of law enforcement that we have in El Paso is astronomical, and most people just want to have a family and have a good life, So yeah, weather, hard to beat. We're recording this video in February, and the weather could not be more unbelievable. I've been outside running, you can do hiking, it's unbelievable. So the fact that we have Fort Bliss to kind of create that recession-resistant economic floor, so when things get a little hairy in the rest of the country, maybe on a national downturn, El Paso, having that Fort Bliss keeps everything kind of just trucking along. Yeah, tight-knit community. People here are so friendly. If you live in New York or maybe some of these other cities, you're not going to get that friendly, welcoming vibe. I guarantee you in El Paso, you're going to get that friendly, welcoming vibe. But I might be a little biased. So let me offset that with the cons, all right? Here we go. Number 1, yeah. It's February, and last week I was running outside and it was gorgeous. Now, come June, July, if I'm running outside, I'm gonna be on the brink of death because it will get hot here. It's the desert, okay? Our elevation is we're almost up to 4,000 feet, which does kind of cool us off a little bit. We're not as hot as a place like Phoenix, but we will definitely get plenty of days where it will be over 100, not 110, not 120, not Phoenix hot, but it will get hot. So there's no way around it. Now, the saving grace, of course, is it's a dry heat, right? I love that. But again, I've lived in Florida and Houston, which are so humid. What I love is you would take a shower and then you go outside and you are instantly sweating and gross. That won't be the case in El Paso. If you take a shower and go outside and you hide in the shade, you're good, right? Because it's dry, okay? But like I said, for a lot of people, they just may not like the extreme heat. So Number 2, geographic isolation. So here's, I love these numbers. El Paso isn't really all that close to any other major city. Phoenix is 430 miles away, Albuquerque is 270, Houston is about 750, Dallas 570, and so the only really close city is Las Cruces, New Mexico, about 30 minutes, but it's not a big city. Like El Paso is way bigger than that. So because of that, you know, it can kind of feel sometimes kind of isolated, I guess. So I've heard people say that that's a con for them. So we wanted to be honest about that. Number 3, this is for the homeowners. Hands down, property taxes. Property taxes here can be up to about 3% of the appraised value of your home. So on a $250,000 house, your property taxes could be anywhere from $6,000 to $7,000, okay? That's a lot. Yes, it does get offset by the fact that we don't have state income tax in Texas, but still, nobody likes high property taxes, and El Paso has high property taxes. Number 4, okay, this one's true too. Lower salary ranges and limited industry diversity. What does that mean? It means that if you're not bilingual, it's going to be really hard for you to compete for the entry-level jobs, right? If you're not bilingual and you're going to go try to get a job at Best Buy or Whole Foods or anywhere, it's going to be a little bit more challenging for you. That's just the truth of it. The other thing that isn't El Paso's fault is that being in the state of Texas, our minimum wage is very, very low, okay? And then another thing is that we're not like Dallas and Houston, where there's a lot of banking and finance. We're not like Austin, where there's a lot of tech, right? We're primarily, most of our jobs come from kind of the military, the Fort Bliss, some of the supporting jobs there, healthcare, education, and then transportation, warehousing, distributions, because of our relationship with Juarez. So those are really, there's less jobs, I guess, to get compared to other cities. So that could definitely be a con. And then my last one, this is one that's just kind of more fun. Your entertainment choices are a little bit limited, okay? Why? Because again, we're kind of geographically isolated, and so when a lot of like the big tours are coming through, yeah, they're gonna hit up Houston and Austin and Dallas, and then they're probably gonna drive through El Paso, stay on 10 until they get to Tucson or Phoenix. And so unfortunately, if you're really big into like going out and like seeing concerts or shows, your choices are going to be limited. We don't have a major league anything, all right? We've got minor league sports, but we don't have major league things. So if you really like to be entertained in that kind of way, El Paso, it probably ain't going to be it for you.
Now the bottom line, who thrives in El Paso? El Paso is an excellent fit for families, military members, remote workers, and if you're thinking about retiring. Now people who are prioritizing the affordability, the safety, the sunshine, their community over the nightlife.
For sure. And at Penny El Paso Realty Group, we've literally helped hundreds of people make that relocation, and the relocations that go the best are the ones where people show up knowing what they're getting into, right? You have to decide whether or not El Paso is the right place for you, and quite honestly, that's what this channel, Living in El Paso, Texas, is all about, right? If you want more information about anything, trust me, you're gonna find it all there at Living in El Paso, Texas. You can also check out our website, pennyelpaso.com. Tons of useful information, guides you can download. We've got this interactive map that's unbelievable. So that's, I think, a relatively fair depiction of the pros and cons. And like I said, you want more of a deep dive, check out our last video, and that'll give you even more information. And thanks so much for checking out the video.